Today, we're gonna be reacting to my first ever viral video, and it's about how I cheated. Let's jump right into it.
Hey guys, so today I'm telling you about my cheating story. I feel like in previous videos I have talked very poorly about people who cheat, but the truth is that I've actually cheated on a previous boyfriend, and as much as I may defend my actions and as much as my friends are gonna be like, oh well, he deserved it, no one really deserves to be cheated on. Nobody
except that guy. Excuse me. To this day. We're gonna call, I don't know what I called him in this video. We're gonna find out shortly. I haven't watched this video in so long. This guy, we're gonna call him Ted. He deserved to be cheated on. Maybe.
Nobody deserves to be put at risk for getting an STD, and I think that cheating is the ultimate betrayal. It is a clear indication of someone's insecurities, someone's own personal problems. I'm 24 now, I know better. I would never cheat on a boyfriend. Before I would even get to the point that I was cheating on somebody, I would break up with that person because that's...
But why didn't you then, Stephanie? Why didn't you? Okay, I'm gonna let you talk.
That's, first of all, just really bad karma. It speaks poorly about myself and my character, and just why? I don't know if this makes me like really old-fashioned, but I believe that not just women but men should just have like one partner at a time. Don't like juggle people and play with people's emotions. Like, that's just not...
What I'm sensing here is a little bit of hypocrisy. Now, I understand that at this point in my life, I was also an exotic dancer in Los Angeles, and I was going through some shit in my life. It was kind of weird. I feel like I was living like a double life. I was this like kind of conservative, very like moralistic person, but I was also, you know, a dancer, kind of had a sugar daddy at this time in my life too, who like happened to be married. I didn't know. Let me just tell you guys, my life was falling apart at this time in my life. So the fact that I was like coming on here with my cute little sundress and talking all like, you know, whatever, it's pretty wild.
That's just not cool. I don't believe in hurting other people, and I just think that's wrong. But I'm also very monogamous. I know that there's like other people out there who are very polyamorous and believe like orgies and being with like dozens of people at a time, but whoa, that's a video for another day. So my cheating experience was many years ago.
One more thing I just have to say is that I wasn't fucking, I'll say this, I wasn't getting down. I definitely was very monogamous, very asexual at this time in my life because the guy that I was with at this time had a micro-peen, so nothing was going down. This video is gonna be a lot. Brace yourself. Buckle in, guys.
Many years ago, it was with my first really serious boyfriend. I met this guy on MySpace, and he didn't shave, probably didn't shower, didn't have a stable job, didn't have a car, was like pretty much homeless. He had really poor taste in men back in the day. Okay. For the sake of the story, we're gonna name him Bill.
Bill. I said Ted, so we got Bill and Ted. Whoa. And we got a great adventure. So let's go with Bill. We're gonna stick to the story and keep it cohesive.
He kind of looked like a Bill, and gosh, he was such a jerk. After I graduated high school, I moved to New York City to go to acting school. I could not imagine my life without this guy, so I actually told him that I would help him out. I would find him an apartment in New York City. Eventually I found him an apartment, but after about 3 or 4 months of us living in the city together, we reached that inevitable stage in every relationship, and I like to call this stage the pooping with the door open stage. And it's just when two people become too comfortable with each other, and I was so young. I was like 19 years old, I think, and that is just way too young to be.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna just stop myself right there. What I think I'm completely brushing over here in this story is just the simple fact is that this relationship with Bill was like extremely toxic. And I think the one thing that I also brushed over, because I like to paint myself as a complete saint in all of my earlier videos on YouTube, is that I was the equally toxic, not equally, okay, I would say it was like 60-40, he was really, really toxic because he was like, you know, didn't have a job, didn't have anything going for him, and I was kind of picking up the slack because I was a young student who also had a part-time job who was really just trying to, like, you know, fix him up. He was my fixer-upper, and so I moved him into the city. I tried to find him a place to live. I tried to get him a job. I tried to you know, put his life back together, all the meanwhile going to college, working, and, you know, he just couldn't get it together. All he wanted to do was play video games and smoke weed. I'm sure a lot of girls will be able to relate to this. And so yeah, no, it just resulted in a lot of fights, a lot of clashing, and sometimes it even turned a little violent. So that's what I'm trying to say, but I'm not saying it because I was just, you know, afraid to say it, I guess.
Getting comfortable like that. The cheating began on one fateful day in Bank of America. No, this video is not sponsored by Bank of America, obviously. But I went to Bank of America with my boyfriend, Bill, and I remember, like, Bank of America just hits me up like, hey Stephanie, we're very serious about a partnership and we want you to do a video about the time you cheated on your crazy ex-boyfriend in college, and we think this would be a very mutually beneficial partnership, and we just think that this story will really make people want to sign up for bank accounts. I remember having some issue with my account. I think it like overdrafted or something because I was like too dumb to even know how to use a bank account at this point. And my boyfriend got really mad at me at Bank of America, and he actually stood up at one point and he said, "You're stupid, I'm leaving." And then he just left me at Bank of America, and I just like started crying. And in the waiting room there's this guy, and he's trying to hold back a smile, and I'm just looking at him and I tell him I'm sorry, like that was so embarrassing, I cannot believe that just happened. And he looked up at me and he said, okay, cut to the chase. There was a cute Irish guy at Bank of America opening up a bank account because he was, like, I guess staying in the city for the summer with his friends at the local YMCA. He got my number, obviously, because, you know, fucking British, Irish, whatever the fuck accent. I was like, oh my god. Ugh. So yeah, dumb, just dumb, okay? That's where I went wrong, okay? That's the bad part. It doesn't matter how crappy my boyfriend was. It doesn't matter how bad he treated me. It doesn't matter how, you know, allegedly terrible he was. The fact is I gave another guy my phone number. So any events that preceded this doesn't matter. I shouldn't have given another guy my number in any way. And there was definitely a flirtatious undertone. I'm pretty sure that the cute Irish guy at Bank of America didn't just want to be friends and go get ice cream cones. And he said, okay, I can't even say it because the way he said it was, well, he was Irish, so he had an Irish accent, so I had like no idea what he said, but he said something, and the Irish accent made me smile. He told me that he's from Ireland, he's visiting with his friends, he's staying at some like hostel nearby or whatever, and he gave me his number, and I gave him my number. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. Also not sponsored, by the way, just in case you guys were wondering. And I don't know why I did it, because at the time I was just like so upset, and this guy who was like super Irish and like kind of vaguely cute gave me a little bit of attention, made me smile, so I was like, oh whatever, let me give you my number. I left and I went back to my apartment, and I really thought long and hard what I should do. Should I break up with this douchebag? Should I text the cute Irish guy? So I was really torn between two worlds here. The world of a romantic comedy that's playing out in my head, that plays out in every Manhattan woman's brain when she moves into the city.
These two thoughtful people don't know it yet.
Not bad.
Yes, but they're about to be set up on a blind date.
Or do I stay with my boring, homeless-looking boyfriend that can't do anything for himself, not even tie his own shoe? And I decided that I was not gonna text the cute Irish guy. I was just gonna ignore him. If he was gonna text me, I wasn't gonna text back because I was a good girlfriend and I wasn't going to do anything that my boyfriend would not be very fond of. About a week. That did not happen, did it?
A week later, my boyfriend and I got into another fight, and I'm just gonna go out and say this was a very, very abusive relationship on his part. He was extremely negative, extremely emotionally abusive, and at times physically abusive.
Okay, we're just gonna skim over that part. We're gonna skip that part of the video because, you know, I feel like that's just gonna have like a whole trigger warning. He was a bad guy, he was no good, and I even wrote about it in my book, Mean Boys and Memories. If you guys wanna go check it out, I will link that in the description box below. Yes, I wrote a book about all of my young dating relationship experiences. It's on Amazon. But yes, you know, I made a lot of excuses for the reasons why I cheated in this videos. I tried to justify my actions, my behaviors. In the end, like, I should have just ended it before it even got to that point. But this is why young people make mistakes. They hold on to bad situations much, much longer than they should.
Blah, 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 whatever. Another video for another time. At one point, I kind of reached my breaking point, and I decided I was going to text back this Irish guy who did text me a few times during like the week that I was ignoring him, but I finally decided, okay, I'm gonna talk to him. So I texted him, and he said that he wanted to hang out, and he wanted to go meet me at like an Irish pub or something. And I told him, oh, I know just the place. There's this place called the Blarney Stone in Midtown West, and they allow underage drinking. This is just a commonly known thing throughout my college campus community. Everybody goes to the Blarney Stone. I'll be honest, he wasn't like the hottest guy in the world, but the fact that he had an adorable Irish accent just like completely won me over. And I'm a total sucker for accents, like British accents. I would even go for a Scottish accent, I'll be honest, even though it sounds pretty angry.
I am now with a French man, and turns out I like those too.
Irish, Australian, South African, like any of those, done.
Accents have ruined my life, okay? How many Australians have I dated? Jesus Christ. You know what? I think that's another big lesson, a big takeaway from this video that I wish I had learned sooner, was don't date people just because of their accents.
Done. Close off. 3 weeks after that, me and Irish lad became very, very close. We became really good friends. We'd hang out all the time. One day that I was feeling really, really ballsy, and I knew that my boyfriend was at work. So me and Irish lad, who up until this point hadn't even kissed. All we had done up until this point was just hang out, have a good time, mild flirting, and then I believe one time we held hands. But I was feeling ballsy this particular day, and I said, why don't we go back to my place? I want you to see my apartment and where I live. So we walk into my apartment, walk into my bedroom, and I'm showing him around, giving him like a tour of the place, even though it was like super tiny. And at one point, he like grabs me and he kisses me.
Oh my gosh, before we go even further, I just want to say, what did I want to show in my apartment? Did I want to show him the cockroach infestation or the rat infestation? Or the fact that I lived in basically the equivalent of a tiny Harry Potter closet? Because my apartment was nothing worth being shown off.
And I hesitated because at that point in time, I really, really felt like, wow, I am cheating on my boyfriend. Like, I am a cheater. I'm a bad person.
Yes, you are, Stephanie. You're a bad person. No wonder so many people talk shit in the comments of this video. No wonder this has such a high dislike ratio. Now that I'm watching this video over again, I'm like, I am actually appalled. I am now seeing the error of my ways.
I'm not being true to myself. Like, this is not me. So as soon as I kissed him, I pulled back and I said, I'm sorry, I can't do this. And he got really, really pissed off at me. He actually ended up leaving shortly after that. And I tried to text him a few times afterwards saying, I'm sorry, like, can we just be friends? I'm sorry that I led you on. And by the way, he knew the entire time that I had a boyfriend. So, I mean, I don't know really what he was thinking. I think that he was just trying to have like a summer fling, and he was on vacation, so he really didn't care. But I never did end up telling my ex-boyfriend this. I always kept it a secret, but we did end up breaking up like a couple months after this happened. It was definitely an eye-opening experience to me because it taught me that if at any point in time you find yourself doing things that question your own morals and question your character, then you shouldn't be doing them, first of all. And second of all, it's a sign that you're not in a healthy relationship and you should quit wasting your time and that person's time.
Wow. Okay, well, I'm so glad that I had that realization, but I think that the one thing I am lacking knowledge of in this whole entire video is just the fact that like I was completely wrong for doing everything I was doing in the first place. I should have never given that guy my number. I should have felt awful for sneaking around behind my boyfriend's back and like hanging out with that guy that entire time. And I think that I thought I was the good guy in that situation because I pulled back from that kiss, and I think that was like my moral high ground in that situation. But I think that I was in the wrong so many times, giving that guy my number, going to the bar with him, giving him the tour of my apartment, that sneaking around, hiding all that information, all that lying. Like there were so many lies, and I think that's so messed up. And I think if the tables were turned, I would be so hurt. And I think that even though that ex-boyfriend, you know, was not a good person at that time in his life, and you know, I can't speak for who he is now because I don't know who he is now at this time in his life. You know, it's just nobody deserves to be treated that way, and that's all I'm gonna say. I think that, you know, there's karma, and I've certainly paid that karmic price in my life later on. That Irish guy, he definitely turned out to be a fuckboy, and the saga does not end here, my friends. I actually did end up reconnecting with him years later, and I had a little fling with him again, and he ended up breaking my heart one more time and kind of screwing me over in like a weird way. That's a story for another time. Let me know if you guys want to hear about it. But anyway, wow. It was really crazy reacting to that and seeing this over again years later. I think I have a whole new takeaway from this video now that I'm more mature and older and seeing this through a whole new set of eyes. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know, what are your thoughts on this video? Was I hard on myself? I want you guys to be really honest with me in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, click the thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. Click the bell so you never miss another upload, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.